So for your purposes, look at me as an asset.
Thanks for being here, Greg. My first question, as an actor, what exactly is the job description of a first AD?
There are many people that would describe what I do as a cat herder. There are some people call us babysitters, psychologists, cops, drill sergeants. None of those descriptions are wrong.
Okay.
Our job is to run a film set. Think of concentric circles, if you will, and at the center is the director and the camera. And then on each level of that circle are things coming in and out: actors, equipment, scripts, producers, balance of time, how it all works, all based on money, but the coordinator of all of that going on is me. Now, there are people that I work for that everything is approved through. We all work together: the producers, the line producers, showrunners, executive producers, co-EPs, all these different titles. But they'll look to me to schedule and maintain that schedule for a film, commercial, TV show. It could be a product like this. It could be something that's done for Ford as some of their training films. Every one of them that's well run will have a first AD.
Sure.
And that responsibility all falls into my realm.
Okay. In my experience, the first AD has always been the one to crack the whip, make sure the set is on schedule. It usually comes off a little harsh, particularly toward the actor. And I wonder how much of the actor is at fault, and what are the actor's responsibilities to communicate to the first AD?
Well, the first thing I'd like to do is apologize for anybody that was mean to you.
Oh, man.
That said, our job is to be firm, but respectful. I go to work every day with the understanding that everybody that's there is there to do a professional job. And so I try to treat everybody that way. That said, they're also looking to me to be the one that leads us across the finish line. Many people will say that running a film set is a lot like a military exercise. I don't think that's actually correct. They'll say, we're going to go to war today and we're going to get this done. I look at it more like, we're going to make a film today, we're going to make a commercial today. And in front of us is a call sheet, which I'm responsible for, and that is a list of what we're going to accomplish today. And everybody's job is to look at that, look at the times that are assigned to their ins and outs, when everything happens, and respond to that. And if there are questions, they come to me. And inevitably, there are lots of questions, because creative process is an evolving process. Many people will try to, on Monday, set in stone what we're doing each day. But the script changes, the actors changes, the weather changes, the network comes in with notes. It's a living, breathing document. Now, when I work with actors, one of the things I try to do is, right from the very beginning, is let them know that I'm on their side. I'm going to push them, because very rarely do you have enough time. I'd love to be able to say, hey, there's 7 takes, take the time you want, breathe. We're going to do whatever you need. I'll let you know where we are. I'll say, here's where we're going, here's what we're coming up to. I think the first AD and my assistants, the second and the second, or if you're working on some shows, they'll call them thirds. I didn't invent the terminology, somebody else did. But those are the people down the line. They're there to help you also. And again, everybody at every level is under a time crunch. So that means you are too. But the thing that I try to avoid, and I think every actor wants to do, is you want to cocoon yourself in the part. You don't need to be involved in all the other Sturm und Drang, all the other anxiety. If the camera's going down, it's not your business.
Sure.
I want to keep you in character. So sometimes, like I've worked with some actors like Bob Hoskins or other actors like him that will literally, if there's the camera, they're sitting right next to it in a chair, they've got some key props, they're just waiting to go. They're not in their room, they're not lost in the makeup trailer, they're ready to go. They know the pacing, and he's been doing it so long, he's such a professional that he's just there. He's not learning his lines in front of the camera, and that's his job. He looks at himself as a member of the crew. Some actors come in and don't understand that they're the same as all of us. We're all in there together. My goal, and we were talking about this before we started taping, is to make you look brilliant. If you don't look brilliant, then I haven't done my job. Someone's going to look at the dailies for that day, or they're going to look at the commercial or the TV show and go, this sucks, let's cancel it. And guess what? I don't have any more work. So if you look good, I get to make more money, and I get to send my kids to college and have health insurance and drive a nice car. If I don't make the actors look good, then I've failed. Now, one of the dangers of any first AD, specifically with actors, is I push you so much that you accomplish my goals and not yours. So in other words, we made the day, but you didn't perform well.
Sure.
So I have to be very careful, and it's a balance. So I try to, on my sets, make it fun, make it jokey. If it's a serious scene, fine, sure. But I want to find out what your needs are. Some actors are very, we were talking about before, want clean eye lines. So if you were performing to, or the camera over here, I don't want anybody there that's going to distract you.
Okay, yeah.
If you want 5 minutes before your take, I give you the notice. Everybody's a little different. It can be something simple like when you come onto the set, you just want to come on quietly. Some actors some people like to be introduced. Hey, with us today, and he's here, and the crew applauds, and it just creates a professional, congenial workplace where we all love to be there. The way I like to approach it for actors is, we are here as a crew from day 1 to day 30 or day 70. You may come in and work on day 16, 19, 32, 45. It's like a lotto ticket. So you're only there for sparing. So there's jokes that we're in on, there's whole things going on, but I still have to bring you into that family. So know that everybody there wants to make you look good and feel comfortable asking for what you need and expecting it. And if it's something that they can't do, say, well, then talk to them. Your first communication will always be the director. I don't give actors blocking instructions, for example. I may walk up at the last minute and say, just be careful, there's a thing here. Or I may walk up and have a safety meeting with you and say, okay, you're about to get on the horse, here's the stunt coordinator.
Sure.
I'm in charge of your well-being, if you will. I want to get all this set up so that you can walk in and work with the director and do the creative part that gets us all more work. Does that make sense?
Now, your background, you have done acting before. Do you think that's
Some people would call it that. I don't
do
know.
you think that helps with your insight into working with actors, having that background? Because you seem like to be very knowledgeable on the acting side and our
I
needs.
started out actually as a musician.
Okay.
And as a musician, I was always running the stage part of the show, so I was stage managing. So the transition into both acting, because I did improv for a while and did some on-camera work, wasn't that big a deal because I was already performing as a musician. It was changing it from a trumpet to my mouth. Going behind the scenes was even easier because the logistics of what's going on back over there is not dissimilar to running a show with multiple bands going on, and everybody's got to hit a mark, and the equipment's got to get in and out, and the lighting's got to go, and this guy has got a wart on this side of his head, so he's got to look this way. All that wacky stuff. So when you start to take all that into account, it just becomes fun.
Great.
You know, you're part of the show.
Last question. We talked about the other side, but what are some pet peeves that an actor will do, particularly in the relationship with the first AD, that you would advise actors to think twice about, or any advice you give to actors to sort of keep a good relationship with the first AD and
I think
all the
the key thing for an actor with an AD is when you walk in, you have to do an assessment of the room. You do that in any place you go to. And understand that he has the ability to help you a lot or also hurt you. And it may be not a willful hurt, but this is someone who has the ability to say, okay, Bill's here today, he's 20 minutes late. Now, I had an actor the other day who I wanted to shoot out first after lunch. And the idea was it takes a certain amount of time to get the female actors after lunch redone in their hair. And I was going to take the other actors who had a small thing to do in front of a green screen as a newscaster and shoot her in that time block. She showed up late. So because I was working with kids and had to shoot the kids out, she went from working at 2 o'clock, now having to sit until 9 o'clock. So instead of having a 3-hour day, she had a 10-hour day where she worked 20 minutes. Why? She was late. She showed up without the right hair. She forgot her clothes. She didn't do her homework. She also didn't have her lines down. So she didn't do the things that she needed, and my ability to help went away. So for your purposes, look at me as an asset, someone to be able to say, I've done my homework, here's what I need, and utilize me to help you out. I don't like actors that get lost in the makeup room. I don't like actors that blame people. I don't want someone who's going to be rude to the crew. I want someone who understands that we're there to help. And anything that isn't that is a negative. I've seen actors sabotage themselves throughout the years, and also know that an AD is somebody who may be directing in an episode or two. And if they like you, they're going to go, hey, there was that guy.
Yeah.
This is a business about relationships. And I also look at actors as potential directors or future producers as well. There's no reason why in 10 years you could be head of a studio. There was that Greg guy, yeah, he was okay. Or there was that Greg guy, I didn't like him. So recognize that everybody in this room is more than the one project that you're doing at that moment.
Right.
And I think the hardest part for an actor is we'll get a job and work for 45 days. You may get a job and work for 1 day, and you had to work the 45 days to get the one job. So it changes your perspective in the room. Find the time to just walk up and go, just say hello, say good morning. And
That's good.
I was talking with somebody once, I said, the first thing you want to do when you walk into a room is say, how are you doing? And shake somebody's hand, look them in the eye, and let them know that we're all in this together. And at that point, they may say, look, I'm really busy now. Don't take it personally. There's, in the current show I'm on now, I've got a PL on, which is a microphone in this ear. Looks like a McDonald's rig. And I got another walkie going here. And I have producers talking to me. So I may go, yeah. And so we're back into the conversation again. So you have those stutter moments. But ask for what you need.
Sure.
Know that if you don't know the prop department or the makeup department, feel free. Feel free to ask for the things that you want, and you'll be okay.
Well, Greg, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.